So we begin with Ms. Chavvii Prabakar, founder and CEO of Global Indian Solutions. Now I'd like to call on stage Mr. Alok Kumar, founder and CEO of Experience Integrators. Please welcome sir with a round of applause. Calling on stage Ms. Vibha Sarin Prabhakar, Chief Experience Officer of Shriram Automall. Please welcome ma'am with a round of applause. Calling on stage Mr. Rakesh Sharma, Chief Solutions Officer at Prime Performance Solutions Private Limited.
Continuing with the introductions of a panelist, Ms. Chavvii Prabakar, founder and CEO of Global Indian Solutions. Ms. Prabhakar has been at the forefront of innovative consulting and business development, driving impactful results and foresighting global connections. Mr. Alok Kumar, founder and CEO of Experience Integrators, as a distinguished speaker with over 25 years of expertise in customer experience management, digital transformation, and business strategy. Shri Alok is a visionary leader renowned for elevating customer experiences through the seamless integration of technology, processes, and people.
Shri Vibha Sarin Prabhakar is the Chief Experience Officer at Shriram Automall. She plays a crucial role in enhancing customer interactions and driving innovation within the automotive and asset management sector. In her role, Ms. Prabhakar is dedicated to optimizing service delivery and creating exceptional customer experiences that align with the company's strategic objectives and vision. Welcoming Shri Rakesh Sharma, who is the Chief Solutions Officer at Prime Performance Solutions Private Limited. He has 4 decades of industry experience and 14 years in business coaching and consulting. He is a distinguished team performance and leadership coach. As the Chief Solution Officer at Prime Performance Solutions Private Limited since 2011, he leads initiatives in productivity improvement, performance management, and business process reengineering. Welcome to all the panelists. I would like to call upon Chavvii Prabakar ma'am to begin with our discussion for the day.
Put on the video. Put on the video. क्या हुआ ऑफिस अरे जल्दी बताओ क्या हुआ ऑफिस बंद हो गया मेरे हस्बैंड आने वाले हैं तो
Good evening, everyone.
तू तो दिन भर चिपका हुआ था अपने
I think we all have been introduced to all our esteemed dignitaries sitting here. It's a real pleasure to be here. Somewhere in the background, you're going to see something happening. So I'll just ask them to put on the video. As you can see, that the topic that we will be covering today in our panel discussion is about customer-centric strategies. So since the morning I have been seeing, we are, all the dignitaries here from various industries, various functions in their organization. And, but I just want to ask, do we have a mic which we can just ask? Would anyone like to say what comes to their mind when they think of customers or customer centricity? So we'll show it to you also. Put on the video. Anyone here would like to tell us a little about what is customer centricity? What do they think? Yes, please. Please, can you pass?
Rocket Sales Corporation की कोई भी बात AYS ऑफिस में नहीं होगी. I think it's too risky.
Adherence to customer requirements.
मरे हुए clients की list.
Yes.
Listening to the customer, providing him exactly what he wants, and achieving high level of customer satisfaction.
Wonderful. I think it's actually, I think, the synopsis of what customer centricity is all about. And we are seeing it here. Kindly keep running that. We are going to just show you a clip. And I hope each one of us can relate to it. And You know, it talks about how an organization should be. How should an employee, an employer, an organization treat customers? What does a customer expect?
हम 2,500 में ऑफर करेंगे
What
प्लस 1 month एक्स्ट्रा सर्विस फ्री
totally constitutes
सर्विस कौन करेगा?
or what drives us to become loyal customers? Or, you know, when we talk of, we've had a wonderful customer experience, what does that mean? Anyone would like to say? Tell us.
रिपेयर सब हो जाएगा, क्लाइंट को कभी खराब पीसी देखने का मौका ही नहीं मिलेगा।
मुझे कोई क्लाइंट ने पहचान लिया तो
Make it a bit loud.
मुझे कोई नहीं पहचानेगा
तब मैंने भी नहीं पहचाना।
मैं भी नहीं।
तेरे को मालूम ये एवाइस का हर चीज़ का अकाउंट रखता?
सीरियसली?
हाँ, एक दिन क्या बोलता मालूम? ऑफिस का जो चीज़ यूज़ किया ना, सबका पैसा वापस करिए।
आई होप तेरे डाउनलोड्स का अकाउंट नहीं रख रहा है, तेरा तो घर बिक जाएगा।
Hello, sir. I'm Harpreet Singh Bedi from Rocket Sales Corporation. Sir.
अच्छा, मतलब आप रात में और हॉलीडेज में भी सर्विस
How many
देते
of us
जी
have
सर,
seen this movie?
रात में, हॉलीडेज में, दिवाली, दशहरा, ईद, न्यू ईयर, किसी भी दिन, किसी भी वक्त, एक फोन कॉल बस।
Oh, I
And zero
thought
downtime for
everyone
any
would
PCs,
raise their
sir.
hand.
नहीं तो आप हमको नहीं, हम आपको पैसे वापस देंगे। सर्विस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की अमाउंट से डबल। This is the unique Rocket Sales Corporation 24-hour guarantee. Only for this month's customers, sir.
रिटर्न में दोगे साइन करके? कंपनीज तो पहले भी बहुत देखी, मगर इतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं देखा। ऐसे हैं भी वापस देने के लिए?
उसकी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी सर, पड़ेगी भी तो मैं अपना स्कूटर बेच दूँ।
Very good. 30 pieces. Single order.
आप प्राइस भरिए।
मैं एक बार फिर बोल रहा हूँ, मेरे साथ सिर्फ ऑनेस्टी चलेगी।
वही तो चीज़ है मेरे पास सर। और क्या है? 30 पीसी कितने दिन में बनेंगे?
30 बहुत ज़्यादा है, कम से कम 20 दिन लगेगा।
एक वीक में डिलीवरी देनी है।
What?
मैंने हाँ बोल दिया।
What? अरे तुझे और कोई वर्ड नहीं आता क्या? सुना नहीं? उसने हाँ बोल दिया।
अब तो मैंने एक वीक बोल दिया है, अब पीछे नहीं हट सकते यार। एक और आदमी लाना पड़ेगा जो पीसी असेंबल कर सकते हैं। वेलकम टू रॉकेट सेल्स। नंबर
I
1,
want everyone to
हम क्लाइंट से कभी झूठ
note
नहीं
down.
बोलते।
चाहे ऑर्डर चला जाए।
ऑर्डर जाए तो जाए,
Three
लेकिन
things
क्लाइंट का
they
भरोसा
have
नहीं जाना चाहिए।
identified
नंबर 2,
from the video.
हम सेल्स से ज़्यादा सर्विस में बिलीव करते हैं, क्योंकि जो कंपनी सर्विस देती है, सेल्स उसी की होती है।
क्या बोल रही है?
नंबर 3, अगर क्लाइंट पूछे भी तो हम रिश्वत नहीं देते।
तो ऑर्डर कैसे लेते हो?
ऐसा ऑर्डर हम नहीं लेते।
नंबर 4, हम झूठी डिलीवरी डेट प्रॉमिस नहीं करते, और जो डेट प्रॉमिस करते हैं ठीक उसी डेट पर किसी भी कीमत पर डिलीवरी करते हैं।
नंबर 5, क्लाइंट के लिए हम हर वक्त अवेलेबल है, दिन या रात।
वो तो पागल कर देगा फोन कर करके।
यही रूल है।
क्या ख्याल है?
जिस पागल खाने में मरीज कोट पहन के डॉक्टर बन जाते हैं, वहाँ यही हाल होता है।
तो पहन ले कोट। बेस्ट ऑफ लक ऑन योर फर्स्ट क्लाइंट मीटिंग।
एमएनटी का ऑर्डर भी रॉकेट सेल्स कॉर्पोरेशन को गया, और ये पहला ऑर्डर नहीं जो हमारे पास आते आते उनके पास चला गया। गुड। और तुम सो कॉल्ड बेस्ट सेल्स टीम इस टुच्ची सी कंपनी से 2 महीने में दूसरी बार हारे हो। क्या हो गया बॉस? ऐसा क्या करती है ये रॉकेट जो भी है कि तुम्हारी कमीशन से फूली हुई नाकों के नीचे से क्लाइंट्स ले जाती? एनी आइडियाज? सर, what the shit is happening here? What is this bloody company? वो क्या कर रहे हैं, कितना खिला रहे हैं लोगों को कि हर ऑर्डर लास्ट मोमेंट पर उनको जाता है? Who can tell me here? हाँ? तूने तो अभी तक वहां अप्लाई भी कर दिया होगा। कौन है ये लोग? जब एमएनटी उन्हें ऑर्डर दे रहा था तू सो रहा था। कैसे गया तेरा ऑर्डर उनके पास?
सर ज़्यादा कुछ तो पता नहीं चला, पर उन्होंने क्लाइंट को लास्ट मोमेंट पे कोई बड़ी धांसू सी सर्विस स्कीम की ऑफर दे दी।
क्या स्कीम? कौन सी स्कीम? ये हिंदुस्तान है, यहाँ सर्विस स्कीम से कब से ऑर्डर मिलने लगे?
सर मेरे क्लाइंट्स भी बार बार उनकी सर्विस का एग्जाम्पल देते हैं। सर ये लोग रात में भी सर्विस करने पहुंच जाते हैं।
देख ईनामदार, तू तो अपना आदमी है, मुझे ये ऑर्डर चाहिए, बाकी जो करना है मैं करूंगा।
सर्विस करेंगे?
सर्विस मेरी गारंटी। तू कब से जानता है मुझे? टीम नई है पर कंपनी वही है।
कंपनी वही है। अभी तक आप समझे नहीं, आपने रॉकेट कॉर्पोरेशन का नाम तो खरीद लिया, लेकिन उसके लोग छोड़ दिए। आप बेवकूफ बन गए।
देख, पुरानी बातें पुरानी हो गई, चल नई रिलेशनशिप स्टार्ट करते हैं।
मैं आगे के सारे ऑर्डर्स कैंसिल कर रहा हूं, और जहां तक मुझे पता है रॉकेट कॉर्पोरेशन के बाकी क्लाइंट्स भी या तो कर चुके हैं या करने वाले हैं। पुरी साहब, एक दिन था जब आपके तरीकों ने इस बिजनेस की ज्योग्राफी बदल दी थी। बुरा मत मानना, पर आपके बिजनेस करने के तरीके अब हिस्ट्री हो चुके हैं। गुड डे।
अरे जल्दी बताओ क्या हुआ, ऑफिस बंद हो गया?
So I'll just quickly, anyone, 3 things they have identified in the video which you think is aligned to what we are going to discuss? Yes, please.
That's commitment, service, loyalty, and that money. It's commitment, service, loyalty. So service is prime most, be 24/7. People should be available for the customers because anyways we call customers as God. So customers are God, meaning the service needs to be highly efficient in order to be tackleable. And most important, I think, is the honesty part, which again, they committed that they would be doing it and whatever be the reason they did it. So that's what is again required. So nowadays, we as buyers don't see money as a constraint. We want everything to be delivered on time with utmost honesty and commitment. So I think that is something that is the need of the hour.
Very right. Very good answer. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Actually, we are living in a world of constant disruptions. It's an underlying word of today's discussion. And in this video, what I perceived, that the earlier businesses were working with earlier models, but they do not understand clearly that they are under the disruption environment because of the competition. So they have to understand this, that they have to mold, they have to reschedule, they have to reshape their policies, their methodologies according to the constant disruptions that may be coming because of AI, because of competition, because of global scenario changes, or a number of things.
So well put. So I think, we just thought post-lunch, how do we wake up everyone? And then we thought that a clip where you identify what we are going to talk about. Because yes, just putting some bookish things and jargon, I think we all are, I would say, professionals who are all, I'm seeing the average vintage here. And I think the vintage of our panel, we were talking about it, is about 100 years. Am I right? Together. So we carry that kind of vintage out of which we are, all of us here on the stage, very experienced customer engagement, customer experience, customer service experts, so to say. So now we will hear it from each one of our, of our co-panelists here. And they will talk about, as they were introduced, so Rakesh Kumar, as again a veteran over almost 4 decades of having worked in this space and carrying huge, and as the founder and chief solution officer, I really like that providing customer-specific, customer-centric solutions to clients, to corporations, to companies that he's working with. So Rakesh, what do you think? We just saw this clip. What do you think in your mind? How would you describe what is a customer experience in your mind, and what are the key drivers of customer experience?
Hello. Can I just start?
Please.
Thank you. So, Chavvii, I'll start my response with a question. And my question is to all of you here. Let me ask you, what is the objective of business? Why does an organization get into the business? Anybody here? Profit, revenue, anything else? To run economy, right? So that's how we have been actually thinking the business is all about. That's a very common thinking, that business is about making money. Business is about revenue, profit. That's how we have been thinking. But is that the reality? Is that the reality? Will somebody give you the money if you don't serve him well? Will he buy a mobile phone only because you are selling? Why will he buy a mobile phone? Because he has some utility of it. He has some purpose to be served by that small equipment. And if that equipment doesn't fulfill that specific objective, then it is going to be a big problem. So you have to focus not only on selling, more than that, you have to focus on providing that service which actually this person wants from that product or maybe from that service. Why do you go to the bank? Why do you go to the restaurant? Why do you go to a 5-star? And why don't you have that cup of tea only on a restaurant on the corner? So it's all about the experience. It's all about the experience. And unless you provide that experience to the customer, he is not going to be satisfied. And that is the key objective of the business. Unfortunately, we have been thinking that business is about making money. And so long we think that business is about making money and profit, we'll keep on putting the experience, customer experience and the customer and service on the back end. And that's what actually has been happening with lots of organizations. But if you look at all those organizations who are the front runners in their industry, you will find that they are very much focusing on the experience. Yes, no? Yes, no. Let's be a little louder. I'll be happy. Yeah, thanks. Now, let us come to the drivers of customer experience. If this is the context that we are into the business for the purpose of serving, for providing that experience, if that is the context, then what do you think should be the key drivers of the customer experience, customer service? What should be the key drivers?
What exactly the customer wants and adhering to his specific requirements.
Right, right,
Like if this is a ball pen,
right,
a click ball pen.
right,
And my usage is that I want a grip ball pen and not a click one.
right.
How much good the product is. It's not adhering to my requirements, so I'm not satisfied with it.
Right, right, great. Let's give him a big hand. Fantastic, very nice, very nice. So, and when I'm saying let's give a big hand, let's really give him a big hand. Yeah, great. This is better, this is better. So, and after lunch specifically, it is very important, right? So, very, very important, whatever we do, let's be very clear that why are we doing what we are doing. The why has to be very, very clear. If the why clarity is not there, then we'll mess up with the what as well. So the first driver of the customer experience and the service is the vision and the mission of the leadership. What is the leader of the organization, the leadership organization thinks about serving his customer through his product, through his service? What is that he is wanting to deliver? Unless there is a clarity about it, you will mess up in delivering the product also, in doing the business. If you are not clear about serving the customer at the leadership level, so will be the design of the organization as well. And if you are only thinking that make money, make revenue, make profits, all those things, then you will not be able to focus on the customer experience, customer service, and you will actually mess up. You must have seen lots of salespeople. They will reach at the customer premises after 15 minutes of their appointed time, and then they will say, oh, sorry, I'm a little late because I got in the traffic jam. Really sorry. And the other person will say, okay, fine. It's okay. It doesn't matter. That's the attitude of our business people generally. You have to change it. Experience comes when you are delivering end-to-end service what he is expecting. He is not expecting you to reach 15 minutes late. He is expecting you that if you are a professional, you better reach 5 minutes early. Yes, no. So that is possible when you have that level of thinking, that level of clarity at the vision level, at the mission level. Mission is very, very important, and that actually comes from the top leadership. So that's the first thing. The second driver is if vision is clear, if the mission is clear. By the way, we are all learned people here. What is mission? What is the mission? No, mission is not strategy. Okay. So can you a little bit more clarify it? What is mission? You are right.
The dream you have for your business, and mission is the things you intend doing to reach and make that dream fulfill.
Very good, very good. Let's give her a big hand. So, mission is that contribution. Mission is that what you are doing. Mission is that what you are bringing to the table. Mission is what is the purpose of that business. And you are fulfilling, you are doing everything to fulfill that purpose of the business. All that is the mission. So if our mission is to serve through that product and service, Then comes your strategy, that how you are going to deliver that. So strategy could be whether you are going to deliver the reactive service or the proactive service. Whether you are going to use one single channel or it is going to be multi-channel. Whether you are going to give guarantee or you don't give guarantee. Or guarantee is again a sales gimmick for you. There's a friend of mine, he is doing a great business, and his guarantee is that we don't ask any questions. If a customer is unhappy because of whatever reason, then we don't ask any questions. We just return the money. So is that the level of your thinking? So these are there can be different type of strategies. So you have to be very, very clear at the organization level that what is your strategy to deliver that mission and vision. The third, very, very important, is your people. If you recall this video, in this video, there was a dialogue. The dialogue was कि पुरी साहब आपने वो कंपनी तो खरीद ली है, लेकिन आप एक गलती कर बैठे हैं कि आपने उनके लोगों को छोड़ दिया है. You recall that? So, लोग बहुत ही ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण हैं. People are extremely, extremely important. So you have to ensure that people are having those cultural dimensions built inside them. They are not only knowing about the cultural dimensions, but they are actually living them day after day. And once they are actually living them day after day, then you will be able to ensure that the vision, the mission which you had in your mind, you are actually moving forward in that direction. Otherwise, there's a problem. So people have to be trained accordingly. People have to be trained continuously. And people have to live that vision and mission of the organization so that they are actually fulfilling the dream of the leadership. So that is the third very, very important element of the customer experience. It starts with the recruitment level only. Now, how many of us actually fulfill that requirement at the recruitment level? That question you have to ask to yourself. The fourth very, very important driver of the customer experience is the processes. The processes. What is meant by the process? Now, when it comes to the people, the third component which I told you, you expect them to deliver that experience, you expect them to deliver that service. That can be possible when our processes are well defined. When our processes are not only well defined, but also our people are trained on them. And they are trained again and again, so that they are not missing any critical element of the process. When it comes to the process, it is also about that you are delivering it through human intervention, or you are doing some kind of a automation and you are doing some kind of a technology intervention. So all those things are also related to the process. Very importantly, I have personally seen as a consultant and as a coach in many organizations that they have a process. You ask from them, do you have a process? Yes, there is a process. Very, 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 afferent, the answer would come that yes, they have a process. Then I ask them, is it documented? Yes, it is documented also. But when it comes to the implementation, there is a huge gap. There is a huge gap. So process is not only about writing on a piece of paper, it is also about implementation, because that's where the challenge arises. So if you ensure that all these four elements are there on ground and they are taken care by the entire organization, then you will definitely be able to drive the good customer experience, very well satisfied customer, not only a satisfied customer, but also a loyal customer. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That was, I think, such a, I think we all have understood the customer experience per se and the key parameters therein. But Mr. Alok Kumar, again, a veteran, actually a pioneer. That's what, I've been having a discussion in finding solutions which are customized again and completely, the integrated kind of experience that is created, at an organization level. Individual level, of course, comes after that. So, so Alok, I would just like to ask you, what do you think is the role of an organization? See, we just talked, Rakesh just talked about, a loyal customer. So how can you drive? I mean, we are driving customer loyalty. There is also an element of employee loyalty, I see. And then ultimately that results in brand loyalty.
Yeah, thanks. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear.
Yeah. Thank you, Chavvii. And thank you, Rakesh. I think you've set the ground for further discussions on this and what an organization can do. And I've also spent about now 35 years in customer experience. And one of the very fascinating things to me has been that if customer experience, and instinctively all of us know, right from Gandhiji who said customer is a god in your premise, to all CEO, all people you ask, everybody agrees. We know customer experience is very good. Customer is very important. It's very important for the business. It is not for profit. We earn from the customer. All that is known to us. So where does customer experience delivery fail? And why, as individual customers, we get poor service even from great products or even from great services sometimes, you get very poor experience. Can somebody just help me to this thing? Let me test your understanding. Why, if everybody knows it is very important, why does customer experience fail in companies?
So when we talk about customer experience, from what I take is कि customer experience is basically about hospitality to the customer, right? How we are talking to them, how we are treating them, how the line of communication is open, right? What customer experience builds is trust, right? But when we are talk about loyalty from a customer, that is only result driven. If the customer, be it a D2C business or a B2B business where we are providing solution to other businesses, right? The only thing that matters at the end of the day is the product solving some problem that a consumer or a customer have, and how good is it solving the problem, right? The customer experience, however you talk to the customer experience team, you talk to the customer care people, the hospitality on the side, right? Where people fail is actually delivering the results to create a loyal customer. The trust that you build through customer experience can be broken very easily, right? So the business, what the business should work in parallel is as well as the customer experience hospitality, plus the implementation of the results that are promised. So commitment is the biggest part of it. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else who can talk about what is coming in the way of good experience delivery? Yeah?
I would like to raise an issue relating to finance. Basically, companies are looking towards reducing costs to increase the scales or to take benefit of some because of competition, because of some other reasons, they want to tap more number of consumers by reducing the prices, or so they have to cut out the services and they think कि सब चलता है. So in this competition
So basically what you're saying is financial pressures are forcing companies to cut corners and compromise on the experience.
Somehow they are compromising on HR, somehow they are compromising on keeping more number of people to satisfy consumers.
Thanks. I think, yeah, so that is one of the things that is happening.
There's someone at the back. At the back. Actually, one, I think.
My view is that as a customer, from customer point of view, I'd like to say the delivery part you are taking care. Suppose I buy a, say, insurance policy. So insurance policy, if I buy, you give right away the commission on the insurance policy that I buy. But when I go for a claim, that part is never covered for the person who is working from the company. So the whole delivery process, delivery chain, I would say, is not covered from the company point of view. Only the initial point of contact is covered. So I think if the whole delivery point is covered, delivery chain is covered, then the whole customer service experience can be improved a bit.
Yeah, so you are saying that how it can be improved. Okay, yeah. Sorry, somebody else? Yeah.
One major change which has an effect on customer satisfaction is gap in the communication. Like what the customer is telling to the salesperson, what he exactly wants. Then what the salesperson is communicating to the senior management. And by the time it comes to the developer, there is a huge difference between what the customer has initially told, what he wants, and what the developer has came to know that he has to develop. So gap in communication also leads to a deteriorated customer satisfaction.
Correct. So there are different components. Okay, I think you all have this thing. But, you know, one of the things that we always see in organizations is that customer service, a lot of mistakes companies make, and I think it is very important here, that we have to understand that the skills and competencies required for a customer experience versus a customer service are completely different. To build a customer experience in an organization, it is about change management. It is about a holistic understanding. Rakesh was saying about process. So when you're designing a process, it is not a process for a function. It is a process from the point of view of the customer, which can run through different departments and deliver to the customer. So there are skills required which are cross-functional, not necessarily vertical specialization. How are organizations designed? They are designed like verticals: finance, sales, marketing, customer service. They are vertical functions. But a customer does not see a vertical function. He sees an experience that he gets across the product or service he's buying. So you will have a company which will have a very good product or a company which has very good service, but because it is not integrated when it is being delivered to the customer has a bad experience. The communication could be bad, the delivery could be bad. You know, something is failing at one point or the other. So one big failure, or one of the things, Chavvii, in the organization is the CEO looks at, normally financial metrics, because as was being said, the focus is on business performance, on sales, on numbers. On the customer experience, it is 99% left to the customer service department to look at customer experience, and probably some functional, heads, if they have a problem with the billing, they will go to the finance. But there is the CEO's role to drive this change management of culture in a company is not held as one of the KPIs or the ownership at the CEO level. That's one problem. The second problem is it is seen as a CX customer experience function is same as customer service function. I think that's one mistake organizations make. So cross-functional alignment which has to be driven. So customer experience has to be owned as a brand that has to be developed for the company. So in Vibha's organization, I think I see a very good that customer experience and marketing is being owned by one person, because the brand is the product and service and the experience that you deliver finally, so that customers remember what that brand is. So that is another mistake that organizations make. And the last missing piece that I would like to leave with is that customers' listening strategy is not there in an organization. What are customers saying? Which customer is saying what? I think you have a complaint which comes, sometimes organizations look at that. But there are various, what are the women customers saying? What are different verticals of the customer saying? That is missing. So there is no organizational listening strategy which is developed, which is required for organization to constantly listen. Where are the gaps? Is it a gap in communication? Is it a gap in process? Is there a gap in delivery by anybody? Is there a policy gap? Sometimes the policy itself is not there. I remember we used to work in telecom, and we used to deliver bills to customers. And a lot of times, working couples, they were not there when the billing guy reached the house to deliver the bill. And they would, the bills will not get paid, the phones will get disconnected. So then we realized that we should have a policy to find out if there are customers who are in the home after 6 o'clock, the delivery courier boy should reach there at that time. So this is called a policy gap. So understanding and listening to customers and then finding out where is the gap is another gap area that is there in organizations. That is another culture aspect that has to be, and that is why customer experience building is a lot of, and that is the reason my organization is called Experience Integrators, because we believe it is like making a house. You hire an architect, you design the entire thing, and then you build piece by piece. That is how a good experience gets delivered. Of course, your intent is there. Everybody wants to give good service, but why does it not happen? Unless you build it right, you put all the components, your experience will not get delivered. So building a culture, building the competencies, building all the interfunctional linkages are key factors for an organization to move to the customer experience delivery, which is a very crucial piece in this whole customer experience journey. Thank you.
That was really, it's covered the entire gamut, of what role and I think this you can speak for hours. There's so much to talk about. And, in this entire thing that we are talking of, the customer experience, customer delight, what is service quality, what is, so one thing which we all know is we are living in the era of digital transformation. So we have an expert here with us, Vibha, and I thought, let Vibha tell us what is the impact that, the I would say digitalization and digitization has brought to the service industry.
Sure. Thank you, Chavvii ma'am, and thank you, Rakesh and Alok. I think those were great insights to set the ground, and a lot of ground was covered in those impactful points. Pleasure to be here and talking about digital transformation. I think India being at the forefront of digital stack and leading by example for the world in terms of payment gateways, banking and financial institutions, the efficiencies, the innovation that has brought in a lot of change and improvement as well as efficiencies in organizations, which covers people, processes, and service that both of them had talked about. So for me, digital transformation is no longer a buzzword. It is the need of the hour and a way of life, right? All of us are using mobile phones to start with, even kids these days. And schools, encourage the kids to use the gadgets, ChatGPT, although kind of banned in initial classes, but it is a great help to enhance the knowledge. So I would like to ask all of you, why do you think digital transformation or digitization in any organization is important nowadays? Any random points that come to your mind and why?
I think this is a subject very close to our heart.
Sure. So how does technology help? So basically we are asking, why do we use technology to enhance experiences? Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. So basically, the technology is helping us in retrieval of the data in a very efficient and a faster manner. Because now every organization deals with so much of data, that at times it's difficult if it is there in a physical form. So the technology has been exploited, basically used to retrieve the data at right time so that it can be utilized in decision making at appropriate time.
Very good point. So that's one of the points. Let's give it to the lady. Data is critical, but data is as good as the decisions it makes, right? We can churn and mine the data based on what goals we want to achieve. But yes, technology does help in data mining, data science, and analyzing the data for the benefit of the organization. Any other point? Anyone at the back? Why is technology being used by organizations to improve experience? So at the end, it is all about customer experience, right? Yes, I think they're the gentleman.
Technology helps in knowing the error proofing and delivering on time. So these are the two factors which came to my mind.
Speed and efficiency.
Yeah.
So I would like to summarize it into 3 points. First is efficiency in processes, enhancement in the entire process for the customer. So at the end, it is all about customer, which is at the heart of every organization. Organizations exist because of the customer. So knowing what customers want, and everybody wants improved processes, ease of doing business. So that definitely is number 1. The second is about unique selling proposition. So with technology, organizations can work on finding their niche and having a differentiator which deals with the competition in terms of better services, benefits to the customer, as well as the last point is on profitability. No digital transformation initiative is taken unless it is beneficial from a cost perspective to the organization, right? So how many of us are using Apple phones, iPhones? If we can have a raise of hands. Okay, and how many other Android, maybe Samsung fans? Okay. So it's all about the experience these gadgets are giving you, right? So at the end, it is about what the customer wants and how technology is helping. So I'll give an example, a real life example from the automotive industry where I'm working. And this is a real life example. A technological marvel was created at the time of COVID. As we say, challenging times also give birth to opportunities. So majority of the business was all physical before COVID. It was a very touch and feel business where pre-owned vehicles and equipments had to be tested, driven, and then bought. And that's what most of the customers like to do when it comes to some physical assets, including jewelry, gold, retail, although it has moved a lot now online with virtual trial rooms, etc. But we also collaborated with IIT Delhi Academia to work on a tool because we had data of about 13 years of what is the price at which a used vehicle or equipment with a different make and model is sold. So with that power of data of 13 years, we created a tool with the use of machine learning and artificial intelligence, which can give the closest price of any used vehicle. So this has become a revolution in the automotive industry, which is getting monetized by banks and NBFCs, as well as original equipment manufacturers, as well as any individual who would like to buy a pre-owned vehicle. So that's the power and the use of technology and the digital business transformation, which has completely transformed the way we do business. And most of our business now, in fact, 40% of our business since COVID has moved online, which was 100% physical before. So to summarize, it is definitely the enhancement when it comes to what customer wants, usage of data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence kind of tools to create efficiencies in the customer journey, which is very important to know what the customer journey is. Second is a lot about transparency and building trust, right? So with blockchain technology, for example, the trust factor has gone really high, and that's how technology is adding value to the customers. It is also about faster resolutions and speed in terms of on a click of a button, most of the services are available. I would like to end and summarize that service, talking about experience and coming back to the topic and how technology is being used. Service is always taken as a cost center. So what Alok was talking, that service, there is a difference between experience and service. So there is a cost involved when it comes to setting up customer service, but over a period of time, if an organization is doing well, using technology well, knowing the customers well, the cost of service should start coming down and the customer experience should start increasing. And that's the right path that I would say all organizations should work on. Thank you.
Yeah, you put it so beautifully. And I think at the end, the bottom line, you know, which no organization, I am a veteran of about 30 years in the service industry, and I have realized that every organization thinks 10 times, I don't know how many times, before wanting to incentivize their service teams, you know, their operations team, their back-end team, the ones who are actually putting that, you know, the seamless experience together for the customer. So I think that's something which, you know, all of you, Alok, Rakesh, Vibha, so beautifully have actually, I think, put together what customer experience is all about. And we all know. So one last thing. So then what is it? You are a, you know, customer experience journey expert. So what, if you were there and you wanted to make a change, where would you make a change in that entire experience that a company, you know, because a lot of us here could be business owners, you know, we are also highly placed professionals. So what would be your take on that?
So I'm a big believer in doing it right the first time, because I've been a banker as well. Like,
so as a banker, that was the mantra. Do it right the first time.
At the time of acquisition, customer acquisition and onboarding, if that goes seamless and smooth, you've got the customer for life. So that is in the customer journey. It is the onboarding experience, which is the most crucial, which is a decision maker. It's a make or break situation.
I think very well put, because in any case, as they say, in a sales or a service journey, the first 2 minutes are the most crucial, critical, and that's where either it happens or it does not. So I think, yes, that's the essence of it. Alok, you talked of organizations. You know, so how does, I mean, so what do you think constitutes, you know, how would brand loyalty be built? See, we talked a lot about every aspect and, you know, so what do you think goes into that?
Brand loyalty gets built on the brand experience. And brand experience gets built on the experiences that customers have with the brand whenever they interact with the brand. At the time of looking for a brand, when they're buying, at the time of buying, at the time of using, at the time of any other interactions that they would have, the experience gets built. That brand experience is what drives the loyalty. If in case the experience has been very good, they will love to be with you. You don't need to money. You can't give loyalty points and hope that, you know, customers will become loyal. That's a misnomer. I think better is that the money. So I think Vibha said it very well, that after a point, And this is the question that comes up, and I think is very important to understand. A lot of times the debates are with the finance team, saying there is a cost to service or a cost to experience. Now, how does the cost to experience or service pay back in the long run in the brand experience is an equation that is very important to understand, and that is what the CEO has to understand, and sometimes that is why you'll see all the world top-class companies like Amazon, like people who have built Zappos, who have built a reputation and experience. The CEO or the owner has believed in the mission that experience will drive business, profitability, loyalty. So investing in the experience, investment in experience is an experience upfront. The returns come at the stage when customers become loyal because they know that if I deal with this company, I'm assured nothing is going to go wrong. Or if it goes wrong also, they will take care of it. I think that part is a very important part. So loyalty is built when you invest in the brand, you invest in the experience, and the CEO to everybody in the company, and since it is an HR forum, the culture of the company has to be of experience delivered by the brand. If you build that, and the CEO should lead it, there should be somebody who is leading in the company at a very senior level, not necessarily a functional leader, then only this will happen.
So then who do you think is the best brand ambassador for any company, any product, any service? I mean, here actually, I wish there was something, prize that can be given to a person who can answer this. Consumers and only the consumers. So somewhere, everything is lost. I may be the CEO of the company, I may be, but if my client says that, Chavvii, you're running, it's not a good company, it's all over. So actually, customer is not just the king. We keep saying customer is king. Actually, customer is the only boss. Because all bosses, I have seen in my career, and I'm sure all of us have seen, kneeling down in front of a client who has complained. Has anyone ever seen a client complaint which has gone all the way up to the MD CEO levels? And then what does the MD CEO have to do? They've resolved and they have to call back and apologize. Very quickly. Yes.
Very, very quickly in, maybe you can say in a day's time. It works.
So that means all levels are, in front of a customer, he or she is the ultimate boss.
And so many times I have seen, because my husband is also working at a senior level, and so many times we have observed that it doesn't work at the lower level, at the middle level. The moment you put up your problem and escalate the problem at higher level, it will resolve within time.
Yeah.
And the whole
So
team
the
is
hierarchies
going to
are
improve.
all lost in
Yes,
between.
yes,
It's
yes,
all,
yes.
it all collapses.
Can I say that this is a person-dependent thing, isn't it? If the CEO or somebody senior is getting involved and the problem is getting solved, then it is not a culture, it is a person who is doing it. So I would think that this is a good thing, that is the CEO's response. That's a good thing happening.
Yeah.
But better would be that it should not even reach that stage and something gets taken.
Definitely it should not reach
So-
at that stage.
so
But again, your middle managers are compelling us to go to that level.
Exactly. So that is where the functional,
Exactly.
and that's the point I was trying to make, that, so let me just break it down, saying that in the old age, in the industrial age, good product was defined as a good experience. But eventually people realized good product is good, but product also goes through different stages. So if an experience after the product goes bad, also is a responsibility of the CEO to make sure that the entire journey is taken care of. So today people have moved from product to product plus all the touch point experiences, number one. Number two, which is very important, which has happened, is that people have realized and organizations have realized that if you only sell product, your margins will come down because competition will come. If you add the product to some solution that customers are looking for, you will be able to deliver a good experience, also get a margin, a higher margin. For example, McDonald's. Till the time McDonald's was selling fries and chicken and all, okay, there was a price they could charge. The moment they transformed it into a McDonald's birthday party experience, they could charge a big premium. Kids would come there, they would have a party there, and probably the recovery of margins that they could get from pizzas and fries went up significantly. So today organizations saying my product is okay, but if I can combine the experience of of other components and give the customer a good experience, I can even get better margin. So I think two things are happening. One is, of course, your failure and your angst of the customer is coming down. Second is the opportunity to earn more if you can create a good experience and provide a good solution by using a product to the customer. So I think this is another very important aspect that I thought a lot of us, probably can appreciate if in case we see in our own examples or, where we are getting good experience and, today hotels are doing. They are having not only hotel, but even they are taking full party organization as an experience.
And if you are getting good experience, definitely you will just pass on that experience to other people also.
And they will come.
And it escalate the sales of
that brand becomes a very
the
important.
brand becomes successful.
So I would just like to add one more point on the same example where the complaint was escalated to the highest level. So any improvement area or the digital transformation an organization takes to solve those issues is not a one person's job. So sometimes organizations think they hire a chief digital officer, for example. We have all these fancy titles, including mine these days. But it is not that one person's job to change the whole scenario. The entire organization has to be aligned from top to bottom, thinking in the same manner that customer is the ultimate, brand ambassador, and the word of mouth spreads faster than anything else. That is the best marketing strategy that any organization can have, because that costs nothing in terms of marketing and branding initiatives. But if your customer is spreading that word of mouth, that will only happen when the entire organization is aligned towards enhancing the customer experiences.
Very well.
If I have to wait in a queue to be able to speak to a service executive, that spoils my experience like anything. And I have had experiences with very good brands which were not.
Yeah, so again, this example which you're giving, I'll tell you what happens. When organizations, you have to wait a long time, it means their CFO has said you cannot hire more than 20 people. So the poor customer service guy will say, okay, I hired 20, I can only attend to 500 calls, I can't attend more. So this is where the functional guys are driving the agenda rather than the CEO saying, no, if a customer is calling, I should give them a good experience, I should have enough agents, or I should cut down the reason why they're calling, give them a digital interface. So that they don't need to call, they can get all the answers on the digital interface, which is serving the CFO purpose as well as the customer experience purpose.
Exactly. So the complex problems should be handled by humans, because at the end we all want to talk to somebody, not to a bot. But all simple, like you have to check your balance. You don't need to speak to anyone, right? All that is now very well automated. But if you have a complex problem, you really would like to still speak to a human.
There, a good company would make sure that you reach an agent and they spend enough time. They will not rush you. Sorry, ma'am, they are trying to rush you. They will listen to you. Like American Express, a good example.
Yeah,
you reach them, it is they will never be rushing you into closing the call. And that is why I am a customer of MX for the last 30 years, because you'll never change that.
Yeah, yeah. I am also.
So it's like that.
What I meant to say was this experience can be a game changer.
Of course it can be.
Correct.
Yeah, it can be make a break in the relationship and the loyalty.
Like you said, onboarding can change the whole experience. Similarly, with this experience.
If any touch point going bad can change your loyalty and your experience.
Responsiveness has been identified as one of the top game changers. Very rightly put. So Rakesh, any last something you would like to add on the culture maybe or the...
Yeah, so lastly, I would just like to add that when it comes to the experience or customer service, what needs to change and what needs to continuously be worked upon is the mindset of the people. And mindset of the entire organization is starting from the top. Many times at the senior level, the people are very clear that what is the kind of experience they want to give to the customer. But because there's a huge work pending at that desk, the same is not percolated down. And such examples which we are talking about, that one has to wait in the queue, etc., etc. So all those kind of things, even if you have good processes, even if you have good, very well designed digital systems, still there is a person, there is a human being sitting behind them. So the systems, processes don't work on their own unless there is a very well educated, having a very good competence in terms of the attitude, skills and knowledge. That person is very, very important. And we have to do a lot of work with our people who are supposed to be delivering that experience. And if they are competent enough, if they have that mindset, if they have that heart, of actually serving the customer, then it will be done.
Oh, wonderful. So I think, between us, and as I said, the 100 years of experience is speaking in a manner that we've tried to cover as much aspects, as we could. And I hope we've left everyone with some food for thought. So in conclusion, please put on the third video. In conclusion, see what comes to, 2-3 things come to my mind. One is we are living, I keep attending a lot of conferences, and I was part of a conference which was about Industry 4.0. How many of you know what is Industry 4.0? Yes. The era of digital transformation. Then comes, within a few months, I'm invited to attend a conference. So here I'm kind of, trying to learn all about digital transformation. What are the aspects? When I'm called for a conference, which is Industry 5.0, what is the key difference? Would you like to tell us? Exactly. And, strangely, when I'm kind of trying to figure out everything about digital transformation, a few months hence, when I'm reading about Industry 5.0, it's about the human touch. So, 360-degree, there was the era of industrialization, there was so 360-degree, as we stand today, it's Industry 5.0, and the human touch has made a huge comeback. And human touch, the background, obviously, it's people in the background. It's people, and people in the form of employees, maybe in the form of clients, in the form of organizations, and so it's again, people-centric approach is again slowly coming. So we are now going to in the digital era, along with the aspect of customer service making a comeback. And as we rightly said here, I don't want to talk to a chatbot. Suddenly, I don't want to. I want to talk to Vibha, or I want to talk to Alok and Rakesh. I don't want to, So that's it. And so we would just like to end. We have just put together, these are some of the key takeaways that we discussed. I hope you all enjoyed the session and have taken back something. So one last word. When we talk of customer-centric strategies, it's actually simply about creating win-win strategies from all sides. So when the customer comes first, the customer is the last man standing. So I think on that, that's what we all have to work towards. Customer first. And on that note, we just like to end. If there are any questions, we are very happy to take it. Or have all the questions been answered? We tried to make it an interactive session. So thank you very much. We've really enjoyed being here. And I hope, and thank you for your attention and time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chavvii ma'am. I think all of us thoroughly enjoyed the session. It was a good wake-up call after the lunch. So we'll just begin with felicitating this panel. So first of all, we'd like to felicitate Chavvii Prabakar ma'am, who's the founder and CEO of Global Indian Solutions. And Sood sir, if you could just come up on stage, please. Can we have a round of applause, please? I'd like to call upon Mr. Alok Kumar, founder and CEO of Experience Integrators. Can we please have a round of applause for sir? I'd like to call forward Ms. Vibha Sarin Prabhakar to be felicitated. Please give ma'am a round of applause. Now I'd like to call forward Mr. Rakesh Sharma, Chief Solutions Officer at Prime Performance Solutions Private Limited. Please welcome him with a round of applause.